Welcome. Today we're going to begin this meditation with the Metta meditation. Metta is a way of caring for ourselves, extending love to ourselves and to other people and things. So maybe we could just jump right in and begin the practice of Metta. So come into a comfortable position, a comfortable seated position where the spine is straight but not rigid, and you feel relaxed, if it's okay and comfortable, to allow your eyes to be closed, and maybe take a few breaths in and out of the nose, breathing in and breathing out. And in this meditation, we will begin with several verses. Allow the verses to really wash over you, to be part of you, so that these verses aren't just sort of wishful thinking, but if they could really embed in your heart and in your mind, that would be so. So we begin with Metta, with the verses that you hold and you say for yourself. And then you'll direct your attention to people that you love, care for, and then directing the verses to those people, the people that you love. And sometimes that's easy to love, easy to do, to wish well, to want good things for people that you already care about. Next, we'll invite you to invite Metta to people that you don't know, the so-called neutral person. And again, with all your heart, to wish these verses, this love and this kindness, this well-being to people that you do not know. And then finally, bringing right into your mind's eye, in your heart, the person that you believe is the cause of your suffering. This can be a person or a group. And if you feel it is appropriate for you to direct these verses to even that person, the person that you believe has caused you suffering, so beginning with yourself, may I be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May I be safe and free from injury, free from anger, afflictions, fears, and anxiety. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in myself. May I learn to identify the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in myself. May I know how to nourish the seeds of joy in myself every day. May I live fresh, solid, and free. May I be free from attachment and aversion, but not be indifferent. And now taking a few deep breaths in and out of the nose, breathing in and breathing out, directing your attention from yourself, this feeling of love and safety and care, to directing your attention to the person that you love so much. It could be an animal, a plant, a mineral. It could be your dearest friend or parent, a guardian. Bring that being into the room with you, the space. See that person, a person's, clearly. And directing metta, the verses, to the person you love. May you be peaceful, happy, and light, in body and in spirit. May you be safe and free from injury. May you be free from anger, afflictions, fears, and anxiety. May you learn to look at yourself with the eyes of understanding and love. May you be able to recognize the seeds of joy and happiness in yourself, and identify the seeds of anger and craving and delusion that are there as well. May you know how to nourish the seeds every day. May you be able to live fresh, solid, and free. May you be free from attachment and aversion, but not be indifferent. And again, taking a few deep breaths in and breathing out. And now turning your awareness from the person you love to the neutral person. This could be someone you see on occasion, Maybe it's a stray animal that comes around your street. It could be someone that you pass on the street every day, but you don't know. And directing these verses to that person, to the person that you don't know, and all with all your heart, to wish love and kindness to this person as well, to this being. May you be peaceful, happy, and light in body and in spirit. May you be safe and free from injury, free from anger, afflictions, and fear, free from anxiety. May you learn to look at yourself with the eyes of understanding and love. May you be able to recognize the seeds of joy and happiness in yourself. May you learn how to identify the sources of anger and craving and delusion that are there within you as well. May you know how to nourish the seeds of joy and happiness every day. May you live fresh, solid, and free. May you be free from attachment and aversion, but not be indifferent. And again, breathing in and breathing out, directing your attention now from the neutral person, the person or thing or beings or group of people, the animals that you don't know, to the person or persons that you believe is the cause of much suffering. A person that you have difficulty with. See that person clearly. All the very aspects of that person's life. It may be a group of people. To look deeply at their suffering, his or her suffering, and if it is appropriate for you, to direct the verses, to direct metta, love and kindness, even to this person who has caused so much suffering. May you be peaceful, may you be happy and light, in body and in spirit. May you be safe and free from injury, free from anger, afflictions, fears, and anxiety. May you look at yourself with the eyes of understanding and love. and be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in yourself every day. May you learn how to identify the sources of anger and craving, delusion that are there within you as well. May you know how to nourish the seeds of joy, the seeds of happiness in yourself every day. May you live fresh, solid, free. May you be free. Free from attachment, free from aversion, but not be indifferent. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And when you are ready, we will begin the guided meditation. It's possible to perceive meditation as a filtering exercise. We can perceive meditation as an act of filtering out that which is not peaceful and only focusing on that which is peaceful. We can perceive meditation as filtering out the uncomfortable world of thought, or filtering the painful experiences, the difficult emotions. But in truth, meditation is an exercise in not filtering. It's the moment in our life, in our day, when we relax our filters and we open our perceptive gates. We invite any experience. We go willingly wherever our attention moves naturally. This is an opportunity to experience what a sound is when there aren't filters. What is the nature of sound when I don't filter it through? I like that sound or I don't like that sound. What is like when we don't filter it through preference and our attention rests simply in sound. What is sound when we don't put any labels on it? We don't call it the clock, the air conditioner, the fan, the voice. We just allow direct perception to declare itself here, now. This is unfiltered experience. And similarly, we can have the unfiltered experience of thought. When a thought begins to move, we can move right with it. As the thought begins to form, we can form right along with it. We can experience the updraft of thought, the movement into a single thought, whether it's an image of something that happened a day ago, an image of somebody's face or conversation. We can notice the contour of that thought as it exists right now in the mind, even the texture. When we don't filter the content of the thought, we don't concern ourselves with, what is this thought actually about? What do I need to do about it? Do I need to solve it? Is it a bad thought or a good thought? If we let those perceptual filters go, we might start to perceive the natural flow and rhythm of thought in consciousness. Thought and consciousness are continuous. They aren't two entities. Thought is a formation in consciousness momentarily that sometimes seems to tell a story or seems to form a visual image, a memory, a potential future event. But all of those are made out of this same thought stuff. And we have access to that right here. If we orient towards thought, then we don't need to manage thought. We can maintain contact in that thought stuff, which is consciousness. We can perceive that the thinker inside consciousness, the sense of me, the sense of I, is continuous with the thought itself, the thought about me, the thought about my past or my future. It's all made out of the same substance. It's all conscious material, somewhat like a cloud. If we start to perceive that consciousness has a flow to it, a movement, it can form thoughts, but it doesn't always form thoughts, then we can relax our filtering. We can relax our agenda inside thought. We can not make the next thought about the future or a solution to a problem. We can stay right here in this one thought. It might be an I thought. It might be a pure sense of I with no predicate, no verb. No thought of future, no thought of past, just pure presence. We may have to remind ourselves periodically that we don't need to evaluate the nature of the thought. The fact that it's there is enough. The thought can say, I'm not meditating correctly, or it can say, I'm the best meditator in the world. And it doesn't actually matter. It's made out of the same stuff. It's made out of consciousness. It's made out of a pure knowingness. a pure light that can shine on a seeming thought object in the mind, or it can just shine right into itself. Pure light, pure knowing without an object. So in the end, it doesn't matter if we're sitting with the pure sense, or the pure sense of I, or the pure conscious sense with no words or labels or thought forms, or whether there's thought after thought after thought after thought, all saying they're about me, all saying they're my thoughts. In the end, it doesn't really matter, because all of this is made out of consciousness. And we can, little by little, relax our will here, relax our filtering, relax our management inside of thought, and step back into the purity of consciousness that it's made out of, the consciousness that your sense of self is made out of. We can do this little by little, and occasionally we can just let go and drop right in. But it doesn't really matter which way we do it, because it's all still just consciousness. Anything you can think about, any future you can think about, any past you can think about, any concept you can think about right now, see what it's made out of. See if you can come in contact with that stuff of thought, that stuff that seems to tell a story about a past, and yet we're always right here in the present, or it seems to tell a story about the future, and yet it's always right here. Can you come in contact with that? Can you feel into that? Can you move closer? Can you ascertain its nature without thinking about it, without producing another thought? Can you just sense into that cloud of knowing that, again, can form thoughts, it can form many thoughts, and it can stand on its own without a thought? Pure awakeness with no intention, no need, no clinging, no aversion, just this. Just awakeness. Pure knowing. Knowing that knows knowing. Being that knows only being. This is pure consciousness. Undivided consciousness. A little taste is enough. We don't need to hold ourselves in some intense way. We don't need to struggle with ourselves to stay here because we've never left this. Anytime we've ever had a thought about anything, that thought's been made out of this consciousness, as has the sense of the one having the thought. The sense of me, the sense of I, has also just been this consciousness. That's all that's ever happened. The movement of consciousness. Every story, every dialogue, every narrative, every conclusion you've ever made, is all made right here and made out of consciousness. So we can observe how this consciousness moves without making a conclusion about it. We're not trying to take notes here. We're simply moving with and as that consciousness, ebbing and flowing. It can move slowly, it can move quickly, it can change directions, it can move like a circuit, almost feel cyclical. It can have a sound, an intrinsic sound, a hum, a vibration. But whatever's already there is the right answer. We don't have to find any of those. Just remain open and perception will come. The nature of consciousness will present itself and clarify itself if we just relax a little bit. We open to it. We recognize every thought about anything, every conclusion, all learnings are simply just formations in this conscious thought stuff. And you are continuous with that consciousness. So see if you can trust it for 1 second. No thoughts, just that awareness. Conscious knowing without landing anywhere. See if you can trust it for 3 seconds. See if you can let it be for 5 seconds. And then let the thoughts come again. And again, just that pure consciousness knowing without a thought. And again, if thoughts come, that's not a problem. We embrace the movement because again, it's not outside of consciousness, it's not something else. It's just a certain formation in consciousness, something that feels a little more solid. But it's made of the same stuff. The thinking space, the me space, it's all made out of the same stuff. And little by little we can expand our ability to just remain there for a few seconds. A little bit longer, a little bit longer, until we just get intrigued. What is this? We can even ask, what is this? And then go silent. No thoughts. Just movement of consciousness, movement of awakeness, just awakeness. So when we ask, what is this? We're not looking for another thought. We're looking for a deeper penetration of this. It will clarify. It will deepen. But we don't do that by pushing. We do that by relaxing. Having a hands-off approach with thoughts, not having a wrestling thoughts. Not trying to push them away, not trying to entangle ourselves in them, not trying to plant nothing. Just notice what they are. Fluctuations like waves on the ocean surface. Notice that they're made out of that same water that the ocean's made out of. The vast ocean is made out of the same water. This is the relationship of consciousness and thought. Same stuff. So just stop. And when that gap, thoughtless, wordless gap, becomes the most interesting thing to you, and you can actually know that it's the most interesting thing without thinking about it, stay there longer and longer and longer. Little by little, your capacity for that unbound consciousness will clarify. And then when it becomes the most interesting thing, we may have a opportunity to let go in a deeper way. You'll feel it. You'll feel instinctual. And when that comes, it's okay. It's okay to let go. But again, we don't force that to happen either. It will come when it's ready. Just attend to the flow, ebb and flow of consciousness, and be open to the opportunity of a thought. Again, we're not trying to stop thoughts or filter out thoughts. We're trying to see clearly what they are. We're trying to give them their due. See a thought as a thought. See a thought as consciousness. See consciousness as I. And then we can drop all the labels. The I, the me, the you, the there, the after, before, better, worse, thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. We can drop all the labels and just be here. That's consciousness. If a thought says, this is confusing, I don't get it, or I'm never able to do this, again, that's your entry point. One thought. Just that thought. What is it made of? Can I get closer and closer to that one thought till it just calms, relaxes? The thinking space, the conscious space. Just remain there.